Greetings, Patrick here, 8 Questions With, and glad you're here with us on a very, very hot day. Uh, it is definitely hot in Topeka in southeastern Michigan. And there's only one person I have to thank for that, and that would be Dylan Fawn Harvey. Uh, every time I talk to her or anybody from Missouri or Kansas City, we have a heat wave. And of course, then we have to do our It's Hot in Topeka. Uh, Thank you, Dylan, for our interview with your fellow actor, Jack. Jack McCord is our guest today. And as you can see, he's been in a few Todd Sheets movies, including Clownado, which is a movie we liked. Uh, and currently, it's let's see if I get this right. Not Raw Wolf. Let's see. Tell me the latest movie that you, because I'm already messing it up. But
Wolf
tell me the movie
Moon,
that was
Wolf
the
Moon Rising.
Wolf Moon Rising. That's got to be a T-shirt.
Yes. Speaking of wolves, my dogs just went haywire. They bark at the wind.
But do
I
they?
apologize for that.
They probably heard me say. They probably heard me say it's hot in Topeka, and they're going like, "Oh no, not
That
that
might
again."
they might be laughing. I don't know.
Yes. I'm glad you're here. We're gonna have a lot of fun, and because you've had an interesting career. You worked with, your career has been a lot longer. I mean, I was looking at your IMDb page, and I realized that doesn't even really come close to the work that you've done, because you've been acting since the age of 4. Um,
Yes.
and you've been performing academically and semi-professionally, which I take it to mean live theater, uh, for the past 50 years. So
Yeah.
this is not
I've
new to you. You are a battle-hardened vet.
I've trod the boards a few times. I'm currently going to be in a September production of Guys and Dolls out in Salina at Theater Salina, and I'll be playing the bad guy, which is the good guy, the cop, Lieutenant Brannigan. So I'm looking forward to that. I've
Now,
done that.
guys and gals, that was with Frank Sinatra, wasn't it? Or
Sinatra and Brando.
oh my God, wow!
Yeah, and they
I,
didn't get
I,
they didn't get along, from what I understand. The roles were supposed to be reversed, but when Brando found out Sinatra wanted the other part, he refused to do it unless he got that part. So they flipped him, and he did that just to irritate Sinatra.
Marlon Brando. I mean, I guess, to me it's like this. It's like I understand if you're great, you're a great actor. There's a lot of Richard Burton, Oliver Reed, Ava
Jack McCord.
Gardner, well, Jack McCord, but Jack McCord doesn't do this shit, right? There's a lot of people that tread on that, the reputation, and it comes to the point where it's no longer amusing, it's no longer funny, it's no longer worth, like with someone like Brando. Personally, myself, even though I know what Marlon Brando is and what he's done, if I had a chance to work with him, knowing what I know, I wouldn't. It just wouldn't be worth it for me.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, have you worked with anybody that feels like their ego is bigger than everybody else's and comes and tries to flex on everybody else? Have you ever had to deal with an actor like that?
Not in film. I haven't. Like I said, or you mentioned, I've only been doing the film work for probably 15 years tops, but the rest has all been on stage. Uh, there, I've got well over 100 different productions, but um, I'm kind of new at the film work. I like it better. I I was asked that recently, and the thing about film is, as a as a performer, I prefer uh, the film because I can perfect it. You get multiple takes at doing, the line or the role. Um, However, on stage,
Yeah.
you're you get the gratification or the response a lot quicker. I mean, the audience is right there. They're going to let you know if you're doing good or not,
Right.
and you can adjust, but you can't do that once the video is out.
I want to say hello to our good friend, our dear friend, Lady Valerie is in the house and saying hello. And Tony the Tigers is in the house as well. I'm glad you guys are here. Um,
Great.
so Jack, I'm fascinated by the fact you've done over 100 productions on the boards. That's dedication. It's really
Yeah,
sort of interesting to hear how you're saying how you're new to film, and our good friend Diane Fawn Harvey, she herself has done more film, and now she's doing the stage, and she's loving it.
I see
And
that. Yeah, it's
yes,
well, and it's kind of like I said, you do. We've did, Wolf Moon Rising well over a year ago, but it's been playing the festivals and still going strong. We've
uh,
got some overseas now, so it's waiting for it to hit, DVD or on the digital platforms. Has been a long wait.
well, I do know that it will be. I believe Todd is heading down to Gross Fest this end of this month, and
Yes,
so I do know that he'll be playing it down there with for the Gross brothers. Um,
yes,
what yeah.
he was going to crew for me. I'm making my first short film. Uh, an old friend of ours named Daryl Hook he's out in Michigan now, but he's from the Kansas City area, and he's doing an anthology called uh, Sharkoween, and
Yeah.
they're various directors from around the country and filmmakers, and the stipulations are it has to be about Halloween, and it has to have a shark in it, and it's got to be gory. So, you know, and 15 to 20 minutes long. So Todd was going to help me out. I think he still is, but he told me I put out the schedule the other day, and he was like, I won't be here this day. I'm going to Gross Fest. I said, oh,
Right, yeah. He's the guest of honor. So your movie is going to be up front and center.
yeah.
Uh, uh, you know, so you must be pretty excited that, it must be very exciting to see, like, Wolf Rising is, you're right, it's been out there a year and it's still getting played.
Yes, and it is.
I didn't realize that some movies are like that. But I have a friend of mine who did a Western film called The Wide West, and he went out there and he went out there and released it, and that movie was playing and premiering for almost a damn year. Still a year. There's still territory that it was still premiering in. Um, and I think this is what we're going to see with Bad Moon Rising, is the fact that it's being out there. It's plus Todd has a great reputation in the horror community. He has a tremendous amount of fans that just love everything he does. That helps out a lot. People get excited to see their favorite filmmakers release new movies. Because sometimes it doesn't happen very. It's a long process to make a feature film, isn't it?
It is. It can be. It's. I think we did Wolf Moon, which is. I think it's 90 something minutes long. So it's not a super long movie, but it took us about, I'm going to say, 2 months to make that. Uh, Normally it's a little longer, I think. Uh, and we're low budget, but I do a lot of other things too. Like I said, that 100 productions, a lot of that is directing, designing, running lights, sound. I do the techie side too. As far as the filming, I do a lot of Todd's locations. I find those for him, and then my partner RJ, he does all the set pieces, not all, but most of them, and some of the makeup for the special effects. So, uh,
Got a couple of filmmakers. One filmmaker came in, Chadwick Whitmere is here and saying hello. And of course, the lovely Diane has also arrived here to show support.
we were
Um,
talking about her.
yeah, I know. It's so hot in here. Freaking hot in Topeka.
It's always
I'm telling.
steamy when she's around.
That's right. For some reason, I go from being in Topeka to being a Topeka. I'm glad you're here, Dylan. So Todd is going down there. He's representing, do you feel like Todd is the biggest filmmaker in the area? I mean, in your neck of the woods, is he the one? Is he the premier filmmaker? And when you work for him, there's a certain gravitas. Like when you get attached to his new movie, do you find people suddenly pay attention more to the project that you're in? That once they find out it's a Todd Sheets movie.
I think he is and should be the premier filmmaker. I don't know how many people actually around here realize that, though. Um, Patrick Ray is a pretty good name around here, and he's had a lot of success. Uh, Arbor Demon was one of his movies that I liked. It had Gary Busey's kid in it, and
Oh, nice.
uh, who's the Chucky? Who's Chucky? The voice of
Brad
Chucky.
Dourif.
Yeah,
Brad Dourif.
his daughter was in it.
Oh, Fiona.
So
Okay.
yeah, yes. I just
Okay.
couldn't think of her name. But I teach and have new students every 6 months or so, and at times it was every month, and so I've had probably a couple 100,000 names that I've had to remember for the last few years. So I'm horrible
Yeah,
on that.
I saw that you're a teacher of airplane mechanics.
Right.
Um, I got to tell you right now that I have so much respect for you for doing that.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
that's a very very important job. I watched that series Mayday,
Hmm.
and there's so many times where it just breaks your damn heart when you find out the reason why that happens, because somebody wasn't properly trained.
Right. I'm
And
I'm out at K State Salina, and they're adult students, so that
mhm.
that makes it, I think, more fun. Actually, you can kid around with them a bit and have a good time.
I take it. Do you own your own plane? Do you have your license?
No, no, I know who works on them. No, I'm kidding. I tell them all that. They say, "Do you like flying?" I'm like, "No, I know who works on them."
No.
But
Shit.
but but
I'll be
no,
honest with you. I'll be honest with you. I'm so what I think about that once. Like if I ever have to fly, who am I got to fly with? And I can already tell you, there's this one airline I will never put my there's that one airplane, an ATR 72. Nope, not ever. And
I
then
used
the
to
other
work
air,
on
and,
those.
huh? Oh
I
God, no,
worked on
no,
those down in North Carolina.
will not go on that plane. I will never go on a R-44 Robinson. Nope, never. And then the airline that I will never fly on is Alaskan. Hail to the no.
Yeah, it was. I worked on ATR 42s and 72s for. It was a company, and all they had one client to do repairs for, and that was FedEx. So I did cargo. So whatever your experience was, I'm sure I had nothing to do with it.
No, I'm sure you didn't. Because at least I know that. Well, no, because those things fell out of the sky, and it's just like, yeah. And then they come back there and they go like, It seems to be like they forgot to put the attach the wing back on the plane, or the engine, like the one out of Louisville. The
They
engine
used
fell off.
paste instead of glue.
Yeah, yeah. They I think they stapled it instead of screwed it in there. Next thing you know, yeah. Hey, John, how are you? Here we are. We're going. Hey, you know what? We are talking to horror movies. I cannot think of a more horror story than watching an airplane movie. Like Snakes on the Plane or something like that. We're
Or
thinking all things
Clownado.
good.
We had them in
Huh?
Clownado.
Oh gosh, that's right, Clownado. That's right.
Yeah,
Well,
we shot the airport stuff out at the Lee Summit Airport and also in the hangar where I was teaching at the time.
oh, nice.
So
Now,
yeah,
do any of your students know that their teacher, the one who's teaching them to keep the planes in the sky, is actually a hardworking actor? And
they
what kind of reaction do you get? What kind of reaction do you get when they find out?
when we did Final Caller, where I play the a serial killer. Um, my students, I was teaching a high school STEM program, science, technology, uh, something in math, but STEM. But we had the high school seniors from Blue Springs, Missouri, and some of the other schools around here come out and to our work, and I ran a class for them. And they came to see the premiere showing of Final Caller at the movie theater here in town, Screenland Armor. And they sat there through the movie. And after the movie was over, because that one had a lot of blood and guts in it. And I mean, I even did the cannibalism thing in it, and which is a long story in itself. But the as soon as the movie was over, we did a Q&A with the audience, and Todd looked at him and pointed right at him and said, "Now you know what happens when your homework's late." And, but they came into class the following Monday, and they were like, we just can't look at you the same way anymore." Like, half the
That's
shirt,
right.
half the movie, I'm without a shirt and just drenched in blood and carrying a sledgehammer.
I'm sure a whole new meaning to the. So can you stay after class today? Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
And there was a scene with a broomstick, and I would tell them in class, uh, I have a broomstick, and they would just become silent.
Now let's talk about how you got involved in film work. Now I want to talk about the theater as well, but let's just talk about how you got into the film work and how did you end up. Most older actors that I've talked to, um, they always come in there and they're always doing more adult roles, playing the doctor or the lawyer or the case giver, case take manager or something like that. Um, Very rare do you find them rolling out of the bed and playing a serial killer. So how did you end up finding Todd
Typecasting.
and his movies? because you don't look like the stereotypical Tosh Sheets audience member. Like the are you a horror movie fan yourself, or just this happened to be what you walked into?
I liked horror movies as a kid. I watched them with my grandfather, and we're talking the old black and white TVs in the 60s, and we're talking Frankenstein, the Universal monsters movies, and I used to watch those with my grandfather. And I was in high school when uh, Halloween and Friday the 13th came out, and all of those. So I went and saw those. I saw The Exorcist when I was 10 on the big screen. We had to beg my stepdad to get us in and take us to it, but uh, that was an experience.
Oh, I
But
bet. Did you know what you were watching? I mean, did you
oh yeah,
did you comprehend? Oh, okay.
oh yeah, we were raised Catholic, and so yeah, I knew what was going on. But as far as the getting into the films, I was working teaching nights at a night school, and I couldn't make rehearsals for stage plays. So I was thinking my acting's over. And then I was on Facebook or something, and I saw that Amanda Payton, Todd's producer, put out an advertisement looking for somebody who can learn lines quickly. Well, I once learned the part of the king in The King and I in 24 hours and went on stage
Wow.
and performed it in an emergency. So I knew I could memorize quickly. So I answered it, and I went out to Todd's studio, and they were doing a film. You can see it on Vimeo. It's called Playing Chess, and it's a non horror Todd Sheets movie. Um,
Oh,
this old man is in the park playing chess with this little girl. And in the end, it turns out, I'm not going to ruin the whole thing, but it turns out she's actually the Grim Reaper or Death, and he's playing for his life. Um,
right.
but a lot of it, and there's only three characters in the whole movie. So almost every other line was mine. And I think I memorized it in 2 days. I went up there on the third day, and we shot it in one night. So, but after that, Todd just keeps calling me with these roles,
Yep. Yeah.
and I'm
That's
like,
how I hear it
Okay.
work.
Now
Uh, our
I've
our
become
chat is
more up. I've
go
become
ahead.
more up to date on my horror movie stuff, having been with this family of actors,
Yes,
because they talk about it, and I'm like, they're always like, "Have you seen this? Have you seen this?" And I'm like, "Nope, no,
but you are now. Uh,
yeah, yes."
the chat has filled up a little bit. I'm gonna including some questions here. Okay, so Chadwick wants to know where you are based at.
Well, I'm kind of like a rolling stone. I'm out of Independence, Missouri. Born and raised in Kansas City. Joined the military when I was 17, and uh, didn't come back till I was 40. Uh, so I've been all over the world a couple times, and I work out of the Kansas City area, and also I'm in Salina, Kansas. That's where I'm teaching at Kansas State University out there. So I've had to change my Missouri Tiger stuff for Kansas State Wildcat stuff, and I still got some Missouri Tiger stuff hidden away. I break them out when I'm alone.
I can appreciate that. I noticed the hat, the K State hat. I'm like, oh, that's cool. He's got a Kansas State hat. He's a Wildcatter. Uh, uh, but yeah, let's see. John is here. Said hello. And then the Wonder Twins are here. Mika and Kira. Let's say hello to everybody. Let's see. And John is letting you know that he is a fellow Missourian. That's right. I don't think he's necessarily. I don't know if John's a Tiger fan or not though. He could be a Bear fan. Like there could be a Bear fan in there. And see, love Mika saying horror is their favorite genre. Yes, for sure. Chadwick is also a filmmaker as well. He supposedly had made his last film, but we know better. We know he'll be back with yet another one because he's having so much fun with this one. Our good friend Russell is here. And Kira and Mika have a question for you, Jack. Curious to know from Jack, what's the biggest adjustment actors have to make when moving from stage to screen?
You you are no longer playing for the little old blind deaf lady in the back row. You can actually, your actions don't have to be huge. Your voice doesn't have to be huge. You can tone things down and make them a lot more subtle because they're blown up, 20 feet in the air on a screen.
Right,
Or
right.
so it's you can back off a bit and still get your meaning and your feelings apart um, out, lack of a better
Now,
word.
I was going to ask a question. Or I was going to ask you this question because right before you went on, we were just talking, and you're settling down, getting ready for the show, and and that includes having a smoke. My question to you, as a theater actor, how do you protect your voice from that? I mean, here you go, it's you got that going, but how do you balance that as an actor? As an actor, like I
Well,
know, yeah, is this something that you wish that you didn't have because you want to
oh
preserve
yeah,
your voice, or yeah,
yeah. I do wish I didn't smoke. You know, I I've never really had any problems with it. Just being honest, I
yeah,
think if I did, that might persuade me a little more. I used to have a ball cap when I was in the military. It said, "Yesterday I quit smoking. Today I'm making a hell of a comeback." Um, you know, and it's
right.
I've quit a billion times. My mom asked me before she passed away. She said, "When are you going to quit smoking?" I said, "My mama didn't raise no quitter." She said, "I raised a little smart ass though, didn't I?"
Yeah, I always wondered that. I was like, how do you, because acting on front of a camera, that's one thing. You talk in a normal voice for the most part, and and you can. But when you're out there and you're projecting that voice, especially if you do musicals like Guys and Dolls,
Yes.
you gotta save that throat. You just can't go out there and like,
Well, that
end
the
up sounding like
the breathing
right.
is you got to take breaths only in certain spots.
Oh,
Um,
that's interesting.
but I've been using some sprays and supplements and stuff that are supposed to, loosen up everything in your chest and it seems to be working pretty good. I've also got
Yeah.
the advantage. I was a broadcast journalist in the Army. I did the Marines and the Army both. So if you hear me say one and you thought I was in the other, I was. But I do. I did the broadcast journalism. That was my military job, and I was a radio disc jockey, television news correspondent in Korea and Germany, and so I had to go through a month of voice and diction, uh, learning all about resonance and things like that. Uh, we had an instructor that walked around with a hockey stick, in the classroom. And at the time, they were cassettes, and you put the cassette in the player, and you'd listen on the headphones, and the cassette would say something, and you'd repeat it. And if he was walking around and heard you mispronounce it, he'd whack the back of your chair with the hockey stick. Uh,
Okay.
and he used to talk like this. And he'd say, I have a hockey stick, you know. And
Wow.
we went out drinking one night, being the military people we are. And we walked into this liquor store, and he was actually working behind the counter as a part time clerk. And I went up there and I said, I would like a bottle of vodka. And he said, you get out of here. You're not old enough. And I wasn't. I was like 20 at the time. So I left.
I know, right, Mika and Kira? Broadcast journalist, disc jockey, very impressive. That's great that you've been able to get so many skills that have come beneficial to your craft. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it is really impressive.
I'm the jack of all trades.
That's right. That's right. When they call you Jack, that's not just your name.
Yeah, you just can't say hello to me in an airport. Hi, Jack.
Oh, shit. Yeah. I see. We saw people try that. I used to work security at an airport, and people would come on there, and we always got put your bag on there. And says, why, you think I have a bomb? And it's just like, dude, it's like you have to tell them, you have to be like, you cannot use those words around here. If you use these words, and this is back in the early early 90s. It's not anything like it is now. You cannot use those words. If you use those words, we have to have you step aside while we call the airport police down here. So do you really want to say that word again? Okay. So yeah. Let's see. Someone asked, what was your favorite horror movie?
Ooh, that I was in or that I watched. Watching it would be The Exorcist. That just that was at the time that it came out. There was nothing like it.
No,
it was so original. And as far as being in, that's a tough call. It's either the new one out, Wolf Moon Rising, or Final Caller, or Dreaming Purple Neon. They were all three crazy characters.
I agree with you about The Exorcist. I rewatched it like about a year ago. Man, that movie is still potent as hell.
I don't think I've watched it since.
It has not lost anything to it. You still watch it and you're still going, holy shit. And of course you're still rooting for Father Karras, come into me, come in. He's like, holy shit. That movie.
There's a good one put out by a friend of ours, Stephen Byro, who owns Unearthed Films. But they did one, stars Jessica Cameron, and it was Song of Solomon.
Yes.
And it's very much like The Exorcist, but I think in some aspects it's even better.
God, Jessica is a woman. She's really sweet. She's really sweet. We've had her on the show before, and she is tremendously sweet. It blows my mind away. Actually, it sort of like blew my mind away when I saw, some of the actors that were working for Todd, like Doug Epps. Like when I saw him in Bone Hill Road, and he was the killer in that. And he is the nicest guy. Holy shit, he's a nice guy. And yes. And he just make, and to me it always just kills me when I how do you pony yourself up to play such a dastardly character? And yet off the screen, like I did this when I before I watched Bone Hill Road. I actually watched the extra features first. So there was a 45-minute documentary of Todd and talking about the making of the movie.
Mhm.
Jack, I am so glad, even to this day, I say I'm so glad that I watched that first because I got an idea. Because all I know is I saw there's 60 people willing to jump off the bridge for Todd Sheets. They loved him. And
Yeah.
that really helped me when I was able to watch the movie. Still really a rough watch for me at the time, but that was really
Yeah.
before I got to know Todd's movies a little bit better.
That
Now that
was
I have,
the roughest movie I did for him. I worked crew on that one, and I so badly wanted to be in it because werewolves were my favorite movies, uh, and I so wanted to be in that, and I didn't get put in it, and so when Wolf Moon Rising came along, I was like, okay, I finally got my werewolf movie.
yeah, yeah, finally. Well, werewolves are hot right now. Holy shit, are they hot? We got this movie here. We got the new one by Robert Eggers. He's coming out with one. I just talked. I'm gonna be talking with Scott Hand. He's got one called Lycan coming out. I'll be
Yeah.
talking about with him. Holy cow. Um, so I mean, Exorcist being
Get
your
the flea
favorite
powder
horror.
ready.
Yeah, that's right. No, that's I also loved Werewolves Within. There's a lot of great werewolf movies that before there just didn't seem a whole lot. Most of the time you talk to people, it's like, what's your favorite werewolf movie? And oh, as much as I like that movie, and I do like it, I mean, how could you not? It had Jenny Agutter in it doing a shower scene. But I gotta be honest with you, I got really tired of hearing people keep on saying it's Werewolf of London. It's like, do you know that there's other werewolf movies out there that are really good? Are
Right.
really good. The Beast Must Die.
Here's a
Uh,
here's a fun one for you that it didn't make the final cut of Wolf Moon Rising, but there's a scene where I am left in the room with Dylan when she transforms, and everybody else runs off and leaves me there. Well, I catch up with them later, and I tell him, "You left me with that foaming at the mouth, unlicensed, flea bitten," and I came up with as many dog references as I could to insult her. And yeah, I tried to make it like Chevy Chase in Christmas Vacation, where I think it was Christmas Vacation, where he calls his boss everything he can over the phone, and then he's like, "Oh, holy God, where's the Tylenol?" And
oh, right,
I was
right.
I was trying to do it like that, and it didn't work out. But I called her every dog word there was.
How do you like working with Diane? What's she like as a scene partner?
She's a sweetie. I love working with
She
her.
is, isn't she?
She's she's a lot of fun.
She is a
Uh,
lot of fun, definitely. I remember watching her in Clownado, and she says, just let you know, because I know just let you know there are some sassy spots in that movie. I said, okay. And so I just thank you for letting me know that. And so because this is my thing, once I talk to somebody, like an actress like Diane, I I can't watch that anymore because it's to me it's my friend.
right,
And it makes
right.
me feel uncomfortable. Makes me feel uncomfortable, even though I know she's acting and it's part for the part of the movie and whatnot. But I just don't really feel comfortable because that's my friend. She's more than someone I just talked to. She's my friend, and I adore Dylan. And so, but she says, but I did watch Clowney, and I had an absolute hoot. She says, you'll like this one. This one's a lot more tamer compared to Bone Hill Road because I had a hard time with that movie, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
First time I watched it, I mean, that's how I met Doug, because I was sitting there going like, man, this is just like, I just didn't understand it, because it was like, how can this guy be such a, I mean, like, yeah, 45 people want to jump off the cliff for this guy, and yet here he is going in there, and he says, I mean, it's torture porn. And
Right.
then Doug like, well, let's talk about it. So me and Doug, we talked on it on Twitter, and then eventually he came on the show. But I got to know him through Twitter, and he's sitting there
Right.
going like, how did, because there was a scene with Linnea Quigley, and her death
Mhm.
scene was drawn out and painful. And I said, how could you do that? I mean,
Yeah,
did
that was a
you?
wicked movie, and
Yes.
I don't know how much of Doug's role was acting. I mean, he's like sometimes he's a McNugget shy of a Happy Meal. Uh,
But
I
that's
love,
kind of, but
I love.
but you have to get into that kind of mood to play that. I mean,
Yes,
let's talk about the final caller. Was
yeah.
that what did you recognize any of yourself in that character? Was there any of Jack McCord in that character?
No, not really.
No, no,
No.
not really.
And
So
have you seen Final Caller? Where it's
I have not yet, but I plan
okay.
on seeing that.
Doug Doug plays the disc jockey, talk show host, and I call into his radio show and tell him, I'm going to kill this girl and I'm going to kill 8 others in the next 8 days. And he brushes me off. He's kind of like a shock jock, and he cusses out his guests and all kinds of stuff. But he and I start going at it, and eventually I just come down to the radio station. But I had started him off as a really crazy uh, guy, and then the guy that was playing Doug's part, it was during COVID, had to back out of the role, and we moved Doug into that part. And then Doug was, he's 110 miles an hour. So I had to change my character and back him completely down so that there was the contrast of the two. Uh, so yeah, I was all ready to get all psycho and everything, and then I had to do it totally different, which just shows you there's always more than one way to attack your part. Um,
How did you prepare for that, Jack? I mean, had you ever played anything even remote? I mean, I know you've done a lot of, like like Clownado. Clownado is a good. It's a fun movie, but it's not a typical Todd Sheets. 10 buckets of blood.
Purple
So I
Neon,
mean, Purple
Dreaming
Neon. Uh,
Dreaming
did,
Purple Neon, which was my first horror movie with Todd. I played a satanic cult leader, and Dylan was the demon I was summoning with, let's
how'd
just
that
say,
go? Do you still got the summoning curse with you?
oh yeah, yeah. Well, I didn't know Todd all that well at that point,
Right.
and he had me chanting all this Latin stuff, and I mean it was a good 2 or 3 paragraphs of Latin, and so I had to go look up what he was having me say because I'm like, I'm new to this film business. I'm chanting Latin stuff. I'm like, am I really in a satanic cult here or what?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Does that was it? Did he write you a true
Yeah,
spell?
it wasn't a spell, but it wasn't a summoning, but it did mention the demons and the history and and I was like, okay, I just want to make sure I'm not. I mean, I did watch The Exorcist. I didn't want to invite anything in on me.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that. I actually watch that when people do that. When people do, when there's a satanic movie going on there, I always look to see how they do it. Like, is it just Hollywood, or are there people out there that recognize that there are forces out there, outside our realm, and doing it haphazardly can bring some unfortunate, things your way. So I'm always curious to see if the filmmaker will know enough to, put a ward out, or actually put out the proper pentagram or the hexagram. Do they do it properly? Because you don't want to fuck up your cast. Have them possessed. So,
Yeah,
have them go
right.
all evil dead. I'll have them go all evil dead and shit. Um, so when you found out that you're actually doing like an enchantment, um, did
Yeah,
you talk to Todd about that?
but what I read of it, I was like, well, this is pretty harmless. We'll go with it. You
Let's
you
see.
only die once.
It says here, if I keep saying this enchantment, I'll have 50 cats show up. Okay, let's continue to do that. Uh, let's see. It says here, yeah, yeah. Russell's like, you never know. You really don't.
You don't
Um, no, my favorite movie. Is a movie
research your
called
part.
Yes. My favorite movie is a movie called A Dark Song, and in there's a spell being cast, and the director, he really did the spell. If you watch that movie and you see what they're doing, that's an actual true spell he's doing. And of course, once you find that out, the movie becomes a lot more darker than you expect. I mean, I know some people don't believe in that stuff, but I do, and it's just like I have a healthy respect for it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
let's see, what is it about Todd's films that keep you coming back?
They're
I mean,
fun. He
he he,
does.
treat, he treats the cast and crew like they're a big Hollywood production, doesn't he? I mean, he takes care of his people.
For the most part, yes. But
Mm,
I think he has fun with it. What he likes to tell people is that he does this um, because as a child he had, family stuff going on and everything, and he used the theater as his escape.
mm,
And the times he enjoyed the most were at the drive-in and those drive-in type movies, and that's what he tries to recreate. And Wolf Moon Rising is probably the best drive-in movie that has come along in a long time. It's just pure fun. The
Now,
scares.
did he design? Did he create bad? Oh, God, what is it about
Wolf
me in this
Moon.
movie? Wolf Rising. What is it about that? Did he design the movie? Did he plan on like I'm making a movie for a drive-in? Because no filmmaker in their right mind today is going to go up there and say I'm making this specifically for the drive-in because
No, he
drive-in.
did.
Oh, he
He
did.
did.
He did make it
That's
specifically.
his.
Wow.
That's what he wants to create, and it's, we all do this for different reasons. And I know his is, the movies saved him when he was a kid going through all this crap. And I know he's told me and others that if he can do the same for somebody out there and give them the 2 hour escape from whatever's getting at him, then it was worth it. Uh, Myself, I realized, early on I was pretty decent at acting, and I've learned that, if God gave me a gift, to share, then I'm pretty selfish if I don't go out and use that. If I don't make a film for to give people the release, the escape. Same with the live theater. It's wherever I can perform. I feel like it's not really a job. It's a release. It allows the actor to. I love taking on somebody else's problems for 2 hours and forgetting mine. That's
Right.
that. I mean, it's a gift, and I'd be selfish not to share it.
What are some of the biggest things that you noticed that when you did come from stage? I mean, we talked about, not, you didn't have to, sing for the lady and the little deaf lady, but I'm talking about just terms of preparation. What are some of the biggest difference from that, like in terms of building a character? A lot of plays, and this is a problem for plays, I think, is like they do a lot of revivals, tons of revivals.
Right.
And it's like you walk inside the character like Guys and Dolls. Okay, honestly, is that really such a hard character to get into more than say the Final Caller? Because you've seen the play, you know what it's about. You don't. It's like, okay, I have to sing this. I mean, it doesn't, to me, it doesn't seem much of a challenge as it would for a screen actor to do a movie like Clownado or Purple Neon. I mean, it's doesn't. It seems to me there's a lot more preparation needed for the screen than there is for the as far as doing a revival play. Now, original play, that's probably going back to the screen level preparation, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's you have to look, at the character and beyond the character. Your your romantic lead in a Guys and Dolls movie, or stage production. You got to research why am I attracted to this person? Uh, what am I going to do about it? The feelings involved, and it's like I was taught. I took a director's workshop for stage, and I was told in reading the script I should read it at least 5 times before you even attempt doing it. And it's once you get the overall feeling. The second, you're looking at your role and how that person feels towards this other character all the way through. Then you look at their feelings toward another character all the way through. Then you're looking at uh, your exits, entrance, why you're doing this or that action. Uh, and
right,
I kind of approach the film work the same. Why am I feeling this? Of course, your director is going to change your view because they've already read it just as many times, if not more, and they have their vision of how they want it played. So, um, but yeah, I think there's a lot of prep in these, and as far as film, I've yet to have a singing part on film, and you're all very welcome. Um, I spared you of that. It's kind of like stepping on a cat's tail,
uh,
but they,
there, there's nothing worse than that. Is that, right? That's like the worst feeling. That's like the worst feeling in the whole damn world.
yes,
It really is. You step on a cat's tail. Oh my God, you feel like you just got done killing a kid or something like that. Like,
yeah,
holy shit.
yeah,
I It's summertime, so my cat gets under my feet. I'll be walking and he'll walk with me, and then he'll flop in front of me. And I'm not paying it, I'm like, are you still walking with me?
right.
But he'll flop in front of me, and next thing you know, I step on his tail, and it's like, and he lets me know about it. And I'm like, dude, you can't be there doing that. You can't park here. But when he does, I just get really sick to my stomach. So I understand that.
Now,
Speaking of getting sick to the stomach per se, I do have, because I'm sitting here when listening to what you're saying, and to me, it's like, for a movie like The Final Caller, was that your first movie that you worked with Todd, and whereas you killed somebody on screen?
no,
What
no,
was your first movie that you did
dreaming
that?
purple neon, dreaming purple neon.
That's
We went through over 100 gallons of fake blood in that movie. Because we used a bug sprayer to spray the blood, you know, and they were little 2 gallon jugs that fit on that bug sprayer, and they actually went through over 100 gallons of fake blood. Uh, it was something else. And
That was only your second feature film too,
yeah,
because you've
yeah.
done hit. So
And
wow,
I'll let you know one other big difference on the prep for film and stage is timing. On stage, one, in the songs, you got to have perfect timing, or you try to achieve that. Uh, but also your line delivery, your responses, because you get one crack at it on stage. If someone forgets a line or anything, you have to stay in character, and you got to keep it rolling. You got to try and bring it around to where it needs to be. Uh, on film, you yell cut and redo it. Uh, so that's
Dylan saying she's saying I feel like I wore most of that blood in Dreaming Purple Neon. Yeah, Dylan actually gets a lot of blood on her. I notice in her movies.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I, I don't know why. She's such a nice girl. She's someone that you take home to mom.
She
You
needs to
know,
be more careful when she shaves.
yeah,
That's
uh,
it.
that's it. Oh, cabin fever. Oh shit. Oh, ooh, okay. That just gave me a mental picture. Have you ever seen the movie Cabin Fever?
Yes, I own a
Yeah.
copy.
Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, that's a creepy ass scene right there. Holy shit. So the first time that you went ahead and they came up to you and they said, okay, here's what's going to happen. We're going to have you kill somebody. At that time, you'd never done that. You'd done a handful of shorts, one feature film, and then they come up to you and say, okay, you're going to be how many people did you have to kill in that movie? I mean, was it and was it more? Was it? I mean, it's got to be a really, even though you know your scene partners, and I mean, I guess I think doing a killing scene or a how do you say this or a sexual assault scene, 100% trust must be with your director. You gotta have that 100%
Yes,
in order to do that role right.
and with your fellow performers, because you don't really want to hurt someone, uh, you know, unless you don't like them. but but yeah, I've killed Dylan a couple times at least.
Yeah, but you know she's always gonna come back. That's the thing about Dylan.
Yeah,
You can't keep a good Dylan down.
yeah,
I mean,
true,
that lady,
true.
she's indestructible. Let's see. The twins mentioned. I think I would be more frightened doing live on stage, be in front of a live audience, and having to ensure you get it right. You really have to be good with improvising.
Right.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I think doing musicals would probably be is that the funnest play?
Uh,
Musicals
eh,
versus like light drama or light comedy.
no, that's for me. I prefer actually dramas, uh, but I'm pretty good with comedy, and uh, the musicals I can sing a little bit, but I'm a horrible dancer, and since I blew my knee out, I'm an even horribler dancer. Um, so I think mostly musicals. This Guys and Dolls, I'm playing a cop. I don't do any dancing or singing, so uh, I get away with it in this one. But
Sure.
yeah, I'm.
I, I think theater audiences are rather smart. You know, they're smart. You know,
Mhm.
they recognize shortcomings and they're okay with it. Whereas horror films or movies in general, man, oh man, you see a mistake on a horror film or whatever, and the fans are all over it like a blanket. Like that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. Like, that
Right,
didn't happen.
right.
It's like it's
Well,
just a movie.
On stage, the audience, sometimes when they know there's been a mistake, it's fun to be in the audience because you're like, okay, how creative is this person? How are they going to work their way out of this jam? Especially if it's a show you've already been in, you're like, oh no, they messed up here. Okay, what are they going to do? And then it becomes a whole new form of entertainment,
Yes,
not
I've
on
seen
their
that
end,
happen.
but,
I've seen
but
that happen. It's funny because the audience is 100% behind the performer when they
yeah,
make a mistake, and then they'll get up there and say something funny. They'll improvise a line, and we all know it, and we all laugh with them, and then it goes back to going back to
right,
the back or what
right.
have you. Yeah, that's
Now,
amazing.
now here's
But
here's another one. When I go on stage, even after all these years, I've still got butterflies. When you
nice.
when you go out for the first time, once I get about the first three lines out, I'm good to go. The audience is mine. I can now read them and decide how I'm going to go with this. You can't do that on film
No,
either
no.
because you don't know your audience. You don't get the instantaneous response to feed off of.
Now, like I mentioned before, that you had done a handful of short films before you did Dreaming Purple Neon. So
Mhm.
talk us through about your very first short film that you did. Was that that's not the one with Todd, right? Where
No,
the
no, I did one called World Records. A friend of mine named Jerry Rapp, uh, who is a graduate of USC's film school, and he's a professional ghostwriter uh, for movies and TV shows. But it was supposed to take place in a record studio that produced world music. Um, and I played like the janitor or the maintenance guy. Uh, and a lot of people turned out for that. And then it just never got picked up by the networks. Um, I shot another one recently with him that it's similar. Um, I did one where I played a hobo coming into the diner. We shot that at Town Topic Hamburgers in downtown Kansas City, and that was fun. We made it snow from the roof with soap flakes. Uh,
nice.
so,
Yeah,
and it's,
that's a Hallmark movie right there for you.
yeah, we're in August, and we're all bundled up in fur
Oh my
coats, and
God, my
it's
God.
snowing outside.
When I
Uh,
hear when I hear that, when I hear those Thursday, they're making some local paper or something sit there and say how Hallmark's inside the town doing a movie, and it's here it is July, and you see them
yeah,
around running around in jackets and all. I'm just like, oh my God, I couldn't do that. I just could not do that. I mean, I mean, it makes you appreciate the acting though, because a lot of times a lot of people sit there and say, "Oh, Hallmark movies, they're not very well acted," and I'm like, I have begged to defer.
yeah,
There's some great fucking acting on those movies. When you see them and they're telling you it's Christmas and drinking hot cocoa and eating Christmas cookies, and you sitting
yeah.
there, well, not another Christmas movie, and they're doing that in the middle of freaking July.
Heat
You damn
index of
bet you, yeah.
110. Yeah.
um, Now, let's talk a little bit about the movie that you're going to be making. I heard you mention this earlier, and I didn't forget it. But let's talk a little bit about your own short film. Um,
Oh,
so tell us. Yeah, let's talk about that
okay.
because going from getting into this and getting into films, as a film actor, and all of a sudden now you're pushing the envelope again, going like, okay, now I've seen how it's done. Now I want to do it. I want to share a story of my own.
Right.
Um, who inspired you to do that? Is this something you just woke up to and said, you know what, I'm going to do this because I feel like it, or did someone come up to you and say, hey, you know what, if you do this, I'll be more than happy to help you.
Yeah, no, I kind of did it on my own. I just wanted to branch out and make myself available in more ways than one, just performing.
Mm,
I've always loved writing. I think I was in sixth grade. I asked my mom for a typewriter, you know, for my birthday or whatever, and I got one, and I started writing. I've done journalism. I've, you know, for the military and high school, and so I love writing. Uh, and the the thing that got me going on this was it was a short. They wanted shorts for this anthology. I don't want to sit down and write a full length movie on something I can't follow through with. So I was
right.
like, I've done the television news correspondence. I can write 5 minute news pieces. I shot camera on Bob Hope specials. I did the Olympics in '88 in Seoul, Korea. Camera work, so I know what goes into it. I just can I do it. Uh, so I'm I always quote when it comes to directing, because I have directed on stage numerous times. Uh, but I quote John Huston. He said, "I alleviated myself the task of directing by casting the show properly." And
Yeah.
I've always believed that if you surround yourself with the right people, and I've the short is going to be good because I've got Lynn in it. She's in
Right.
it, and then Todd's helping me out, and some of the other crew members from from his productions. We're all really close, uh,
Right.
so and we all pitch in where we can. Like I said, on the
Well,
Bone Hill Road, I wanted to be in it. Well, I wasn't, so I pitched in where I could. You know.
right. Just worked it. See, I thought that's what I thought too. I thought that same thing. I'm going like, there's 45, 60 people here. There's probably not jobs for everybody here. I think they just want to come out there and show support. Like whatever you need me to do.
Hmm.
You want me to roll up some cord? You want me to move the
Right.
light? You want me to look location scout? I mean, you want me to help run the crafty table? Whatever you want to do, I'll be willing to do it. Um,
Yeah, and it's always a good way to start. You got your foot in the door, you meet some people. The next show comes along, and it's oh, so and so can't do this one because they're taking a job out of town. Well, who do we got that can jump in there? Oh, what about that guy that was rolling the cables?
yeah, and
He
the
could
thing is,
step
though,
in and
what's the as far as independent films go? I mean, if someone walked up to you and said, Jack, I want to get into the business. What are the three things that you tell him or her that are the most important?
see a psychiatrist.
Okay,
Uh, no,
watch the
seriously.
Exorcist.
Um,
Uh,
I would look. Social media is your friend, believe it or not. Uh, and there are tons of film societies, film groups in your area. Uh, get involved with them. Go to some meetings. See what's going on around you. Um, there's audition pages listing auditions in your area for film and stage, and respond to them. If it says, PM me, personal message me for more details, then I would do that. Take them up on it.
right, right. What about yeah? There are a lot out there, or a lot of groups out there, what have you. I'm with you about the like I'm with you about the volunteering and getting your hands dirty. I think that helps tremendously. How important is it to be dependable? To show up on time and know your
Oh,
lines.
that's that's very very much expected. If you don't do that, then it'll probably be your first and last production, at least with those people,
Right.
um, because it's sometimes you got some people that develop the ego, and it's I'm the exception to the case. Well, no, everybody's time is important.
Yeah.
Everybody's volunteering. Nobody's getting paid. Uh, you know, your time is no more valuable than anybody else's. Uh, so if the start time is X o'clock, be there at X o'clock. You know,
Right. Right.
uh, that's common courtesy, and that's needed on the sets.
I want to go back because I sort of got away from my one question too. And we're talking about the killing on the scene or act of violence on the scene. And the reason I'm asking you this because you're an older actor, you're new to it. To me, it fascinates me to be able to, here you are, you're being asked to do something that's totally alien to you. I mean, you're not like you and I are not 21-year-olds full of vim and vinegar. Like, okay, let's whatever you want. Um,
I play one on
we're
TV.
yeah, we're you have to think about that. Like, okay, like, how am I going to do this? Um, and and did you ever like get uncomfortable in a scene like that? Like, yeah, I'm not really feeling it. I'm a little bit uneasy. Did you have to rehearse it beforehand? I mean, how do you do that as an older actor being asked to do something that's pretty damn extreme?
I I've had the privilege of working with Todd, and um, I know that he walks you through everything before you do it, um, and that's puts it at ease in your mind. Um, and you maybe rehearse it a couple times beforehand in slow motion. We do that on stage also when we're learning our blocking is we do everything in super slow motion and gradually speed it up. And you know it's rehearsal over and over and over. Repetition is a great teacher. I tell my students that read it, read it again, read it again.
Do you think being a teacher helps your acting? I mean, doing the repetition thing, does your job help you with your
It
acting?
does. It does, and I think it helps me tolerate others a lot easier. Uh, you know, any difficulties or anything. Um, it's just teaching. I've been teaching since what 2012, so uh, that's what 15 years, something like that. I teach math. I can't add. Uh, but yeah, it helps you in the problem solving. Uh, it helps you in the memorization, and through the years you learn different techniques of memorizing. Word association, something, and if he says this word, it's going to trigger this word in my mind. I got to connect these two words. Okay, so I'll let him ramble on. And as soon as he hits that word, boom, I know what my next line is.
Okay,
Um,
all right.
you know,
Uh,
so,
let's see. Darlene is giving you 100%. And the twins say they want to know what projects are you working on now. I think that would probably be your short film. Do you have a title for it so far?
yes, it's called Bite Night.
Bite Night.
Yes, and it had to deal, if you recall me saying, it had to deal with sharks, Halloween, and had to be gory. So I'll
Oh,
give you
so
this. I'll give you the
yeah,
synopsis here real quick. I got
yeah, that
three
Daryl Hook
kids.
guy.
I
You know,
got three.
I gotta tell you that Daryl Hook guy, man. I don't know, man. That guy seems to be out there, man, out outer space.
Did you see Stoner Snake?
Oh my God, I loved it.
So, that was his first feature.
I love
So
that movie. That movie was
yeah,
awesome. I was so happy for him too. I was sitting there going like, "Hey, this could be like super bad, or it could be, you know." But I did not expect it to be as fun as it was. It reminded me of watching the Velocipaster and
yeah, yes,
Carousel.
I've seen
I
that.
was just
I
so
think I got it.
overjoyed with. I was so happy for him.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
So,
that movie is crazy fun,
so
and
this one I got three kids trick or treating, and
uh-huh,
one's dressed as a witch, one is a shark. He's not dressed as one, he's a shark. He's a baby shark.
uh-huh.
And then there's Donald Trump. One of the kids has got a rubber Donald Trump mask on.
Oh my. So this
And
really is a horror film.
yeah, pretty much. And then they go from house to house. Well, the dad shark is following them behind the hedges,
Oh,
across the street.
right. Watching the sun.
And like I said, they're real sharks. So when when someone gives them a crappy treat, then as they go to the next house, the dad shows up and mauls the person that gave them crappy treats.
Huh.
And
Do you think the director would mind it too much if I wonder if Daryl would mind if I, you know, like dressed up like Lindsey Graham and got in on this action.
I don't know, he might.
That's good. I've heard of Sharkoween. I know that's coming up. I know I wasn't sure as where it was in terms of being filmed, but I can't wait for that. That looks to be so much fun. So
Yeah,
Sharkoween.
all the crews
Are you playing the dad shark?
no, I'm not even in it. I'm just directing and behind the scenes and putting it together. And I wrote it.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay. All right.
so
Um, so any last questions for our guest? Jack, please drop them down. Please drop them down in the comment section. Now, we mentioned Hallmark movies before, but we'll ask this. Have you had to do a romantic scene yet, or at least a kissing scene yet in your
on
career?
stage. On stage, not on
On
not
stage,
on
not on
celluloid.
film yet. Okay, that's coming. You know it's coming.
But it's been a long time.
Oh, okay. Just tell Todd, say, dude, it's worth it. He can tear my throat out as long as I can get one smooch out of it. Uh, you guys have any questions? Feel free to drop them.
Now he
Yeah,
has torn my throat out.
you what?
He has torn my throat out.
Did he have Lynn do that to you?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Okay, don't worry, that's coming. Todd will be the special guest this year at Gross Fest. Were you aware of that?
Yes. Yes, I
Yeah,
was.
how about that? I was so cool when they announced it last year. I was so excited, and then I told the brothers Gross. I said, you know, it's gonna be really hard though. It's gonna be really hard for you to be able to do any to get any press out of this. Is because Todd is so notorious for not wanting to be on camera.
Right, right. And he's
So it's sort of like it's like
I think he's got a bit part. I've seen him in one of his early films, Goblin. He's actually in that one.
right.
And then yeah, that's the only one I can think of him in.
I don't think he's done anything else. He's not the Alfred Hitchcock kind of guy.
No.
But I remember my friend Steven got him to interview on his podcast, and when I came on to watch it, I noticed that you know like his camera wasn't on, and like I thought he was having tech problems. And then when I was looking up some other interviews, I noticed that there's a lot of tech problems because Todd's face is never shown, and then I found out that he's very photoshopping.
He's
I get
he's,
that.
he's being mythical.
Is that what he calls it?
That's what I
Is that
call
what he
it.
calls it? Okay, that's cool. We'll go with that. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Russell wants to know, like, even though you're helping directing a shark movie, would you like to be in a shark movie, like be like a Quint, like in
Oh, hell
Jaws?
yeah. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. I just saw a play uh, on the Broadway video club thing, and it's called The Shark is Broken. And it's all the behind the scenes stuff by Richard Dreyfuss, Roy Scheider, and um, oh,
Robert Shaw.
Quint,
Robert
Robert
Shaw.
Shaw. Yes. And it's them stuck on the boat while the shark is broken. And it's just them talking about Richard Dreyfuss is the new kid on the block, and they're all just, he's more hippie-ish than the others. And great behind the scenes stuff, but it's a one set and those three actors, and that's it.
Oh,
Uh,
that's cool.
Great play if you get a chance to see it. It's got some funny parts in it.
Um, let's see. Dylan's, we made her laugh. The Shark is Broken. I have to check that out. I got this one movie. This is weird. I got this one movie at the video store, and the title was called Saving Jaws. And I thought it was a documentary about the shark in Jaws, like, how do they save the animatronic? I sat on that movie for freaking years. Years. It was in my watch list. And finally I said, I'm gonna go ahead and take a run at this. It's summertime. I'm in the mood for a shark. So I go ahead. Oh Lord have mercy. We have fires from Canada and they come over our area and it looks like
Oh,
doom and gloom is coming to our town.
wow.
It is all the smoke is out there right now.
The Fog.
Which one? The Tom Welling
Adrian
or
Barbeau.
Adrian Barbeau?
Actually,
Oh, it's still here.
we went out to Hollywood for I think it was Dreaming Purple Neon, I think, and did a premiere out there, and I actually got to meet her and got a photo with her. And I was so happy. She was like pinned up on my wall in my bedroom for so many years growing up.
A favorite. Let's see. Twins mentioning the same here in Massachusetts. Patrick, the air was so bad today. It's horrible. It was perfect today. It's just now rolling through here. It looks like the end of the world is coming. What's your favorite Adrian Barbeau movie though?
Oh, Maud. No. Let's see.
That
Wow, that's a tough one. That is a tough one.
Wisconsin also has the heavy smoke. Lady Valerie saying have the wildfire smoke here in Wisconsin as
That's how they
well.
get smoked cheese.
It's
They smoke the
terrible.
Gouda.
It literally is like getting dark early and it's orange outside.
Yeah.
If I put the cheetah outside, he'd be camouflaged. I wouldn't be able to see him until I stepped on his tail. Uh, uh, I guess Russell saying his favorite Adrian Barbeau scene is Swamp Thing. The twins mentioning that it reminded them today of Night of the Comet. Yes, exactly. Uh,
I just made a Trump meme with Swamp Thing. So
you're my kind of guy, Jack. You're my kind of guy.
AI is wonderful if you use it
Yes.
right.
Let's see. And Diane wants to know about you going into teaching or coaching for actors. Do you feel confident enough that you could teach acting to actors?
Yeah, I think I could. I've thought about it when I retire from this. I've wanted for a couple of years to hold a directing workshop or classes for people that want to direct, stage performances. I've done probably 15 different productions there, from The King and I to uh, smaller shows, Neil Simon stuff. Um, but it's interesting. My my first lesson is you shouldn't direct unless it's your goal to make that the best production of it's ever been. Otherwise, you're not giving it your all.
Well, I like what Danny Houston or John Houston said.
Yes.
Kept on saying Danny. I like that quote you share with us about
Yeah,
hey,
that's one of my favorites.
God, there's so many great directors out there that have done just that, including Todd, that has surrounded himself with really good talent. I'll be talking to a one of my new favorites right now, Brimstone Pictures out of Edmonton, Alberta, out there in Canada. They're putting out some wicked shit out there,
Wow.
and so is higher learning as well. But yeah. I like the idea of you teaching too, and maybe that's what you'll be talking about next time we have you come back.
Oh,
Yes, and Dylan says that you would be you'd be very good for teaching, and so did Mira and Mika and Kira also said that. All right, we have hit our
thank you.
mark. So I want to thank you, Jack, so much for coming out here and hanging out with us. I appreciate it so much. We had a great time with you.
Yeah, I had
I
fun.
told you we're going to have fun today.
Yeah, I love doing this.
Yeah, we'll get you out there again. We'll get you out there. We'll have you come back. And again, thank you to Dial In for making sure this happened. And hopefully next time I'll find something else for you to come up for, Dial In. I promise. I haven't forgotten that. She wants to come up there and co-host once in a while. And I'm going to be looking for. I'm probably going to have her come up and talk maybe I'll have her come up and talk with me when I have the boys from Brimstone come up, because they're doing some great stuff. They really
I'll
are.
have to check them out.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to their. I'll send you a link to their short they did called Boneyard Racers. Holy shit, that thing is awesome. All right, boys and girls, what do we got tomorrow? I'm glad you asked. We will be back tomorrow night with Alexander Pimento and the future of film. He's going to be bringing some of his cast and crew over tomorrow night to hang out with us at 8 o'clock, and then Friday the 17th. We have our favorite Louisiana filmmaker, Mitch Lang, will be back. That's right. Mitch Lang will be back. He is a very fun young man. He has done the Bog Band franchise. He's got a brand new movie out called The Rake Investigation that he did. Funny ass show. Yeah, we'll be talking with Mitch. And he's also a great spotter of talent. We'll be meeting his new makeup artist that he discovered, a lady named Drew Hill. We'll be talking to her. Hopefully she'll be able to make it. And then on, let's see, next Tuesday on the 21st, we have singer Jay McTaggart will be here with us at 8 p.m. The 22nd, we have DJ Patton and Amanda Megan will be here with us on the 22nd. On the 23rd, we have Kenyon, Texas Henry will be with us. I can't even see because of the outside. Kenyon, Texas Henry will be with us on the 23rd. And then on a very special date, on the 25th of July, I'll be having one of my oldest friends come on to the show. Her name is Monique Parent. She is more than an actress. She is my friend. She has been with me from the very get-go. And I am having her come over to be my very special guest on what would have been Lori Ann's birthday. So I'm really grateful for that. And I hope you guys come out to meet Monique. She is a beautiful soul. And I'm looking forward to talking to her. It'd be my first time interviewing her. We've talked for a while. We've talked for years, but it'd be the first time I actually got to be able to sit down and talk to her one-on-one. And I have questions. All right. That is it. Thank you so much to the chat, Lady Valerie, Russell, the Wonder Twins. As always, who else that came in? Dylin. Let's see. I want to say hi to everybody that came in. I know that Tony came in, and let's see. Anybody else I miss? I don't want to miss anybody when I'm doing my shout outs here. I think that's it. John from Doomsday Crypt. Holy cow, Chadwick. I have to say thank you for that. Okay, now I feel much better. All right. Thanks so much for coming out. Jack, stay right where we're at for a minute. Okay. I want to talk to you after we go off camera. To everybody else, thank you again for showing up and supporting the show. I appreciate it. and we'll see you tomorrow with tomorrow night with Alexander and yeah, okay, Alexander. Uh, I don't know why. I'm freaked out by outside because it looks like it's like doom and gloom. All right, that's it. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.